podcast. Okay. And then here, if you just go to my channel,
what's your channel?
Crypto Face.
Okay.
And then it should say live streaming now. And then I am going to post this link to...
Can you send me the link anyway?
Yeah, let me just get it. I'm bad with this stuff, so...
It's all right.
Here we go. Got it. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to send it to you on Telegram.
All right, I got it. So I guess we're live since you sent me the link, right?
Yep. No, we're definitely live. Let me make sure my volume's good too. Let me make sure. Can you guys hear Richard okay?
Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2.
Speaking soft. He's speaking a little soft.
Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2.
How we sound, guys? How are we sound?
Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2.
Am I getting a fucking playback, or did you just say that a bunch of times over?
I just said it a bunch of times over.
All right.
Because I mean, if I change what I say, then you don't know whether it was I said it lower or you need baseline, right?
Yeah, whatever. It sounds good. All right. As people are coming in, first off, thanks, Richard, for being here, man.
Pleasure.
You've no matter what anyone thinks, everyone who's watching, if you think he's a good dude, or you think he's a scammer, if you think I'm a scammer, I'm a good dude, we're just here to kind of, I have some questions about Hex and you, and kind of like just, you know, whatever. We're just going to go with the flow. This isn't anything serious. But yeah, dude, I appreciate you being here, dude.
Pleasure.
First off, I kind of wanted to ask you, so like for your background, I don't remember what company, but didn't you found or start some sort of popular internet company? Like what's your history, your background? When did you do that? Got you where you are now?
My first business was a car stereo store out of my front yard. It's called Audio Ecstasy.
Cool.
And then I got a storefront and hired my friends. And then that gave me my free time to learn the next thing. The next thing I learned was search engine optimization. So I was able to get sites ranked, you know, number 1, 2, 3 on Google for competitive search terms. And then I used that ability for a mortgage company, and we got them mortgage leads. And then I figured, well, I might as well start my own mortgage company. So I did. And then, you know, we had a correspondent lending license. I became a licensed mortgage broker. And then we just started selling everything else that we could sell on the internet, you know, in addition to generating mortgage leads.
Okay.
And that was miracle cleaners, sex toy store, cash advance loans, foreclosure bailouts, a whole lot of stuff.
What years was like the mortgage stuff?
It would have been, so I graduated in 98. I played around with college for like a year. So then that would have been like 99. And then I figured 2000, I started my car stereo thing. Did that for about 2 years. And then from 2002 to 2003 is when all the internet marketing stuff really kicked off.
When you started your car stereo business, did you start installing the car stereos yourself, or did you have a buddy that did it? Right on.
Yeah, it was me. Okay. I did everything.
All right.
I'd still do everything. Like I weld, I, you know, solder, I build my own keyboards, I build my own XLR connectors. I grew up, my father was in construction, and I grew up doing construction. And so anything that needs done, I can do. Like you want to tear a wall down and put something else in its place, I can do that. Right. You want to install a HVAC system, whatever it is, I can do it. Right. So you drywall, carpentry, electrical.
I've helped my dad build a couple homes too. My favorite thing to do with like homes is actually plumbing, setting up plumbing.
That's the one thing I never really got into was plumbing.
Really?
Like I've never installed a toilet.
Thought. Like a lot of
it's not that hard, but
building anything, homes, like any type of carpentry or anything like that, you really have to think ahead. That's what my dad always said. He always said, think ahead. You got to really think through before you start doing shit. Okay.
Because if you fuck up, it takes like 4 units of effort to undo 1 unit of fuck up. And then you're on the wrong side of it's an asymmetrical formula. Okay. Like the hard things are the little things. So if you need to get a pipe through a wall and the wall's full of electrical and water. Now you're like, well, I just can't go through this. Like I need to now the plant's screwed, right? Or when you're trying to run duct and you have crawl space that a duct has to go through,
Yes.
and it's just not big enough. What are you going to do? Knock the roof out of the house and like make a square over the top there? Like there's
Mm-hmm.
just it's a lot harder when
Okay.
you
Um,
get in the real world.
continuing. We know how. Never mind. All right. So, okay. So after that,
As far
keep
as
going.
far as
Keep
the
going.
scammer stuff goes, most people aren't scammers. So for some reason, people just don't understand statistics very well. Bayes theorem states that when you're trying to estimate the likelihood of something using tests, you have to account for the likelihood that things are a certain way without tests,
What are you
right?
talking
So for
about? The
instance,
scammer stuff. What do you mean?
well, yeah, like if you take an AIDS test and it says you have AIDS, even if it says you have AIDS, you very likely don't actually have it. And it's actually very likely to be a false positive because the chance of having AIDS is so low to start with.
Uh,
But if it was easy to have AIDS and everyone had AIDS and then you tested positive for it, in fact, it would be the case. It would be very likely that you would have it.
do you mind me asking you why we skipped to this yet? I still wasn't finished listening
Well,
to.
you in the very beginning, you said, if you think somebody's a scammer or
Oh,
not and
okay.
all that.
Okay.
And it's just, people have to understand that the vast majority of people are not scammers, right? And so you have to have evidence that someone is a scammer before you should feel good calling them such.
Um,
Because if you don't have evidence, you are the scammer, right?
yeah. I mean, from I know we haven't. I don't think we've finished what you've done up until this point, but
Well,
definitely
sure, I can
like
go
you're
through all that.
someone
Like, I'm
who's
happy to do it.
I mean, if you're people that are poor, and I mean, those are most likely the ones who are actually like scamming. If you're kind of already well off and you have everything you need, you're more of doing something because you enjoy it and it's your passion.
You do have
And
low
so,
crime rates in rich neighborhoods just because people don't need the money is bad.
right.
So,
So I don't want to get too off of subject from the subject we're
sure,
on. We'll have plenty of time to
sure.
get back to that.
All right.
And so, okay. So continue. What? Continue with your background, company, the companies you started that got you famous and got you feel like there's
I mean, you can
continue.
Google these, right? So, like my first car stereo business was called Audio Ecstasy, ECSTASY.
I thought there was
My
like a big
inter-
social media or some type of like big
I can go
website.
through the list. So, Internet Marketing Masters was the next one where we did search engine optimization. So you can go on archive.org and look up
Mhm. What's the most
internetmarketingmasters.com.
famous one you did? Like, what's the most? I thought there was like a big one. Um, I could be mistaken.
We did a shitload. So there was a lot of different brands. So when you have a primarily referral business, you're going to have a lot of everyone had their own unique kind of URL thing, right? So it's not any that you'd recognize.
Okay.
There was no big triple X Toy Joy. You wouldn't recognize it. Without wine hair wine without wine something. I think it was hair. It
So
doesn't
I
make sense.
know.
Wine hair iodine blood. I don't understand what the H meant actually.
I know that you've probably been asked many questions that maybe, well, not many, but some questions that I'm going to ask you that you've probably already answered before.
Go ahead.
Um, and I haven't really done too much research on you or anything. So forgive me if like some of the stuff I ask you seems repetitive and whatnot. But okay, so you did all these companies. You're a successful guy. So
Yeah.
when did you kind of like get into crypto?
Oh, well, I mean, I retired in 2003, started traveling the world, moved down to Panama, got the shit robbed out of me. Then just moved to Argentina and started traveling Europe, did
What do you mean you
Australia,
got
Hong Kong,
robbed?
Singapore. Well, just, had a house got stolen. Had an office got stolen. They made fake bearer shares and pretended that they were the owners and then just stole everything.
Damn.
And then that's it.
So you
And
were a victim
there's
of like a
actually no
real like
justice.
some
Oh,
scammers
there
that
was
probably
also
had
other
like
shit.
government protection or something that came with some paperwork and fucked you.
Well, they don't play over there. Like if they want your money, they're willing to work harder for it than you are. So, if you live in the third world and people start doing illegal things to you, your recourse with the legal system is comedic. It's a joke. Like if you're not in some countries, if you're not willing to pay a judge, you will not get justice. So
Yeah.
What
Uh,
do you, I mean, so your options are like go make new money elsewhere, or spend your life doing something which doesn't scale, getting back old money, and then once you get it back, that's it. You don't get new money. You just get your money back after a lot of fees and work. And so, it's if you have the opportunity, it's better to go make new money, as sad as that sounds, because if you build something and you build good infrastructure, that infrastructure can work for years. But just getting your own money back, you only get it back once. So it's actually kind of shitty.
how long have you been working on Hex? When did you start?
A couple of years.
Couple years. Okay.
Yeah.
And so are
But
you
I would say maybe a year and a half on Hex. But I mean, I've been working on having my own cryptocurrency for over 2 years.
okay?
But we pivoted. So originally we were going to have a useful proof of work cryptocurrency based on computational fluid dynamics. It was just too hard. It was just too hard. So
Yeah.
it addresses a smaller market, and it is a harder problem. And so Hex addresses a larger market and is a smaller problem. So I chose the easier, more money route.
Okay. So I'm glad we're getting into this, because it's kind of like my main real questions about like Hex isn't where the Ethereum contract. To me, that's actually a stupid question. I don't get why people are giving you a hard time about the certain ETH wallet everyone's bitching about, because that's not like if I go to Starbucks and I buy coffee, I don't really care what they do with the money. I want the coffee, so I'm giving money for it. What they do with it to me doesn't matter, and so I don't really I don't.
It's weird. I mean, people like to count other people's money, and I don't. Particularly in Hex, it's very important that you're not counting other people's money, because legally, it's important that you understand that none of that will ever benefit you ever. None of that money will ever benefit you ever in any way.
Okay.
Nothing. I assure you that money will not benefit
So
you.
and you may have explained this before, and but I kind of want to know. So like, if starting the Hex currency is kind of like a big thing. So really, like, kind of what my main questions were is, do you want Hex to be used as like when we go to buy Starbucks? Is it for just like what is the real purpose for Hex in your
So the,
opinion?
the primary design goal is appreciation through restriction of supply, and by giving people enough hooks to make it easy to market. And if we have restricted supply and we have increased demand, then in a free market we should have price appreciation. And particularly for something that's given out for free, it's pretty hard to lose money on free, right? So its primary design focus is price appreciation. Secondarily to that, it just happens to be the world's first blockchain time deposit CD that pays you more interest the longer you lock. And that's never been done before. And it's amazing because that's what they do in the real world. In the real world, when you go to your bank, the second most popular product is the time deposit. And the longer you lock your money, the more interest you make. And nothing in crypto has ever attempted to emulate that functionality. And it stores 7.2 trillion dollars in the United States and China alone. It's a larger market than printed currency, which is what Bitcoin attempted to attack. So Hex addresses a larger market than Bitcoin does, has lower fees than Bitcoin, has better security than Bitcoin, and you can refer people to it and make money as a referrer, and you can get it for free. That's all vastly superior to Bitcoin. So could you use it for payments? Sure. It does better than Bitcoin does. Could you use it to make mad gains? Perhaps. That's the design intention. We hope that it appreciates. How it works in the real world, no one knows. Could go to zero, could cease functioning, or it could be the highest appreciating asset in the history of mankind.
So do
It
you
could be any of
think
those things.
you're going to, like, you and your team, or whoever, I don't even know if you have a team, and so you can correct me if I'm wrong if I say anything, but like,
Okay.
is there an effort to make hex coin a common thing to be used, right? Like Bitcoin, man, Bitcoin had a lot of people fighting for it and preaching about it to get to where it is today, right?
How did that work out? How did that work out for Bitcoin?
Well, what do you mean?
Well, Do more people accept it now or in 2017? Two
Now
years
than
ago.
2017.
Yeah.
My guess would probably be 2017.
Yeah. So there's less adoption. There's less people accepting it. The ATMs that opened oftentimes are closing or requiring AML KYC and doing no volume. The fees, they're not $70 a transaction like they used to be at the peak of 2017. However, the amount of usage on chain is less. The dollars on chain moved are less. More people are putting their money into centralized counterparties like new banks, like exchanges and centralized finance, things that try and pay you interest. And that's the opposite of what crypto was invented for. So now 65% of the mining's in China. China doesn't allow you to see YouTube or
Is it
Twitter
only
or
65%? So this is something
that's
that
the number I
actually
saw
kind of just
today.
caught on. So like for literally since my YouTube channel started, I was talking about how China runs the crypto space, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so like for some reason, no one it was out of everyone's mind. Like no one understood that, even though all the figures were there. And so although at the same time, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. Maybe if China wasn't China, Bitcoin wouldn't be where it is today with all that power, right? Um,
I don't know. I just know that we can do better. So miners are overpaid. They get paid to dump the price.
okay,
And in
so we can
Hex,
do
we don't pay
better. Let's hit
miners.
those bullet points. Your first bullet point is miners who can get paid better by
Yeah.
mining hex, or
No, 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 no. We don't pay miners Hex ever at all. They make nothing. So in Ethereum, when you run an Ethereum transaction, you pay a miner some inflation, a block reward. In Bitcoin, when you mine a new Bitcoin block, you get 12 and a half new Bitcoin, and they're $7,000 each. So there was about $1 million an hour that miners are paid to defend against what? Themselves. They're the only people that can attack through hash rate. And the only thing mining does is help prevent hash rate attacks. So it's a racket, it's a protection racket. You're paying the same people that can attack you to to let your transaction happen. And you're paying them $1 million an hour to do it. And what are they doing with that $1 million? They're selling it on the market to pay a power company to pollute, and they're doing it in China. So I invented something that gets rid of that shit, and miners just get paid fees, and they don't get paid block rewards, and they don't get paid inflation, and the only inflation in Hex is to the stakers, and therefore there isn't actually any inflation if you're a staker. If you're a longer staker, you actually make money. If you're shorter than average staker, then you're diluted a little bit because you're paying some to the longer guys, and that's how it should be, right? And so in effect, if you're a staker, Hex has 0% inflation because it's only being paid to you. There's no
is hex even
externalities.
mined, or is there even
It's on Ethereum, so we use proof of work through
okay?
Ethereum for the transactions, and we pay transaction fees for that. But think about how few fees you incur when you're time locking for a year. You're going to lock your coins up for a year. That means you're going to have two transactions in a year, one to open it and one to close it. It's fucking awesome. It's so good.
I wish I for like those of you watching and stuff, I know like with your name, there's gonna be people watching this that don't really know me and whatnot, but my people know this. I am not someone who claims to be a blockchain expert by any means. My main thing is I like trading it. You know what I mean, and using this space, um, to generate an income for me and my people and whatnot. So forgive me if like there's some things, Richard, if there's some things like I quite don't understand and whatnot. Same with my audience. Forgive me if I don't know as much as everyone on blockchain and whatnot. So okay, um, with Hex as it is now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is the plan to take over Bitcoin or other cryptos, to take over and to be
So this so
used?
this
Like there are
question.
websites like I can buy gold with Bitcoin,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, how are you gonna try to like get to that point? Just let it. Hopefully, it happens naturally, or is there a effort to grow the popularity? I know you haven't. I'm not a big believer in marketing too, man. Like to a certain extent, right? I've never paid shit for my channel or any advertising, but there is a point where if you have certain goals, you need to. So, but really, again, my question is like, what is the plan to
So I can,
grow the
mhm.
popularity of Hex?
Well, I mean, I'm going to answer this question to the best of my ability, and to the best of my ability involves a giant dodge. So when I tell you that you must have no expectations of profit from the work of others, it's because I don't want Hex to be a security. So where everyone else in the world makes huge promises and would happily sell you a bunch of bullshit on all these magical things that are going to happen, I have to do the hard opposite thing, the legal thing, and tell you not to have any expectations. So now that the hedge and the dodge is out of the way, right? I can tell you what has happened. What has happened in 7 days, maybe it's 8 days now that Hex has existed. We have listed on CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko, some other coin thing that's similar. We've listed on 7 exchanges. It's actually 8. There's another one that I have to add to the list.
It's on
7 or 8
CoinMarketCap.
exchanges. Yeah, but CoinMarketCap doesn't show the price because the exchanges it's on, it doesn't
Which one
track the
does?
prices
Where can
of.
I like look up like the price of Hex on like a chart?
Let's save it for last because you're going to get into your tactical trading shit and it's
No,
going to
no, no,
suck up a
no,
lot of
not at all.
time.
That's not at all, not at all, not at all. I
All right.
but I just I'm not
Hold
gonna
on.
get
Let
into
me
all
finish.
technical
Let me
bullshit.
finish answering your question.
Okay,
So your question
sorry to
was,
interrupt you.
what are the plans for making Hex amazing? And my answer is absolutely no plans whatsoever. There are no plans. You will not benefit from the work of everyone else. And let me tell you what's already happened. So we've got 7 exchanges. We've got a live. We've got a live stream that shows everything that happens in the contract in real time with noise and visuals on a site called hexviz.xyz, and that's viz with a Z. And we have a live feed of every single thing that happens in the contract as a Telegram bot called t.me/hexwinbot. We have a whale watcher on Telegram bot that tells anytime a whale does something in Hex. That's at twitter.com/whalehex. We have a live chart, the first in the world, of future market supply of when stakes will expire, which means that if you know that chart exists and you look at it, you can choose to have your stake expire when others people's are not, reducing supply shock and perhaps reducing volatility. So you don't have a bunch of extra supply opening up at the same time. We're the first cryptocurrency in the world to have a chart of future market supply. We also have some very interesting economics game theory where as coins are locked, they're burnt. So when you stake a coin, you burn it. And therefore, if burning coins reduces supply, tends to increase price, assuming static or increasing demand, then the market cap will actually go down while the price is going up, which is weird. Most cryptocurrencies don't operate that way. So in this cryptocurrency, due to the burning and staking, the more people that lock up their coins, the less is available on market, the higher the price goes, once again, assuming static or increasing demand in a free market, then you'll be able to have really high price appreciation without having to push up in the market cap very high. And then you could end up with insane price appreciation as you start to enter the top 10. So that's very unique. And these are things that all of this stuff has happened in just 7 days.
Do you think that the
The community did all that, by the way.
Well,
that's all community. That's nothing. It has not. I didn't have anything to do with any of that.
Okay,
the
so let me
community
ask you
did it.
this. Let's say I own a internet business and I sell gold and precious metals.
Sure.
And I would like to accept Hex as
Sure.
a form of payment.
Yep.
Where do I go and how do I get that done?
Well, you just you go to you install MetaMask in your browser, which gives you a Hex wallet. It also is an Ethereum wallet because your Hex address is an Ethereum address.
Oh, so I can do that through MetaMask, right?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you just you install MetaMask. You it's going to give you your 12 seed words. You save them, and then you click deposit. And deposit shows you a picture, a QR code of what your address is, and it allows you to copy your address. And anyone that sends Ethereum or Hex to that address That's it. Now you have it. And then if you want to sell it for something else, you can go on one of those 7 exchanges I told you about and turn it into USDT or BTC or ETH or whatever you want.
So are you would you classify yourself, I'm not trying to put you in a box,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm going to ask this question to the best ability right where I'm not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
But would you
Mm-hmm.
say you're more of decentralize everything and centralization is evil?
No,
Or,
I'm not
okay.
that.
All right.
Decentralization serves only one purpose: to help foster censorship resistance. And you can find that there are centralized censorship resistant parties. There are also decentralized censorship resistant. There's also decentralized pro censorship, right? So it's just a tool, and it is not the end, and it is not the goal. It's just a means to get there. So, decentralization can help prevent people from attacking you in ways that would cause censorship. It can do that.
Reason why I ask
Um,
is there are many folks who think that like everything is benign, right? So for example, if we say leverage trading, everyone says leverage trading is bad, trading is bad. It's benign, just like a gun. A gun can do good things, it can do bad things. A shovel, it can do good things, it can do bad things.
some
Um,
some guns are better than others.
sure are. But like the whole decentralized, if something is completely decentralized, then there is no team there's nowhere to
Right.
go for
There's a
help.
design trade-off. Yeah, there's a design trade-off. So if things are fully decentralized, then no one has a big enough bag to be cash positive onboarding new users. So you don't have any advertisements. So
So
Hex gets around that by having a referral program. But
so
there's other downsides.
from
Sure,
what
go ahead.
you've told me, Hex's main goal is to benefit off of its price appreciating to the upside, right? The price going up, and hopefully,
It would still function with a very low price. However, its primary design intention is appreciation. So
but if
it's
that
like,
is the core, right? If the
mm-hmm,
core of your currency, so to speak, is just to benefit off the price going up,
mm-hmm.
I feel like it would lack foundation of like a base of
Well, I mean, it
utility,
also
so to
happens to do
speak.
everything better than Bitcoin. So it's like the only things Bitcoin does better is liquidity, retail acceptance with 800 retailers, and that
So
might
how
be it.
can so my question is like here's kind of like what I believe. I think if Hex or any coin is to become the most popular, the most
Mm-hmm.
used on CNBC and whatnot, then it's got to be utilitized. It has to be
Well, it's not
used.
true. It's obviously not true.
Why don't you
Bitcoin
think
went to
that's true?
20,000 because Bitcoin went to $20,000 with no adoption whatsoever. There's only 2.8 million wallets that have over $1,000 in them. 42% of Bitcoin is owned by 2,000
But
wallets,
there was a reason
addresses.
why. The reason is because of like crypto's this new thing, the blockchain, and people tied Bitcoin to blockchain though, right? Yeah, there's
No.
things it can do better than the current fiat system and banks and whatnot. That was the foundation that propelled that, right?
Look, people have lots of narratives, right? Like the South Sea bubble had a narrative, and the tulip bubble had a narrative, and the Bitcoin bubble had a narrative, and the Ethereum bubble had a narrative, and there will be some other story that people latch onto the next time it happens. But
So
in reality, people buy
don't we
this
want a
shit.
story with Hex then?
We
Like
have
doesn't
lots of stories. We have lots of stories. We're the world's first blockchain CD that addresses a larger market than Bitcoin ever did. And it has a referral program, and you can get it for free, and it's more secure. That's enough on its own. The mad gains on top of that as a design intention is even more.
so
So
are
it's
you
weird. Like
saying
what doesn't Hex do? The
okay.
only thing Hex doesn't do is anonymity.
All right, so I want to blurt this out before I forget how to say this, and I feel like I already am. Um, God, what's the word? We're the ETFs. Would
Mm-hmm.
Hex be a safer, more secure cryptocurrency to get approved on like an ETF than Bitcoin?
If its design intentions work out in the real world and it has lower volatility due to time locking, then it is a superior candidate. Now it still has to have liquidity. It still needs to find a larger market. It still has to have enough people trading in it to make sure that there's not back dealing and manipulation. There's a reason that Bitcoin is not in an ETF currently. So, it would take a lot of work to get there, but the design is better. Bitcoin has basically two pumpamentals. It has freemium onboarding in the beginning when anyone could double click an EXE and get some. And it has an inflation rate that drops in half every 4 years, which wasn't even in the white paper, just showed up in the code. And that's it. That's all the pumpamentals it's got. Hex has got better pumpamentals. It's got a referral program. It's got freemium today, whereas Bitcoin doesn't have freemium today. It's probably easier to claim your free Bitcoin now. Well, you did have to be a Bitcoin holder to get free Hex.
Can I ask you something? So
Sure.
Bitcoin had big like speakers,
Not
prophets, disciples, so to speak, like Roger Ver and others who, in my opinion, had like a big role in getting Bitcoin out there. Is there anyone, let's just say Roger Ver, for example. Have you ever met him, or do you know him?
We've met multiple times.
Okay.
We've spoken multiple times. And
have you spoken to, for example, him about Hex by any chance, or not really?
Yes, I have.
Okay. So do you think there's any like big name people that you can or have convinced that Hex is a better version of Bitcoin or any other crypto that's gonna get out there and say, guys, Hex is you guys need to look into Hex. You need to do this. You know what I mean? Like, is there anyone like that coming around?
There are. So I have to choose my words carefully.
For sure. I understand.
I think you will find that Roger likes Hex. And I think that you will have verifiable hard proof in the next couple of days of how much he likes Hex. And I think I'm under NDA, so.
Do you think Craig writes
I think
Satoshi?
that's as much as I can say about that. No, I don't. And he's not. And I've met him in person and explained that to him on stage.
That's right. I remember that. You gave him some shit. Do you know who Satoshi is?
No, he's most likely an English academic.
Why don't you think it's him?
Well, they don't have any similar traits. Craig Wright's not a software developer, and Satoshi wrote the code before he wrote the white paper. Craig Wright has never, to the best of my knowledge, spent a Bitcoin or received a Bitcoin.
Then who dumped all that Bitcoin when him and Roger Ver? It could have been Roger Ver, actually. I don't know. That's why I'm asking you. When I think it was this time last year, right? When there was the Bitcoin Cash, when Roger Ver and Craig Wright like broke up, right? And I mean that's when that big dump happened. And
are you talking about BSV price dumping?
Everything dumped. Bitcoin. It was like last November.
But none of those were Satoshi's coins. They've never moved.
Well,
you would know if Satoshi's coins moved. They're very easy to find because they have the most. They've never moved. They're also a weird address format that most Bitcoins use what's called pay to public key hash. And back then, there was no such thing as pay to public key hash. It was just pay to public key. I mean, there used to be even pay to IP.
How hard was it to like code Bitcoin? I'm not a coder. I'm not a software guy. I do some like basic shit. Like
very hard,
I can program,
which is why there's always bugs.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you, bro. I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's very hard. That's why there's always bugs. Bitcoin has had 2 inflation bugs where anyone could mint as many free coins as they wanted. One had to roll back the chain because somebody printed 16 billion extra Bitcoin when there's only supposed to be 21 million ever. That was 2010. And then it happened again, and a Bitcoin Cash developer discovered it and responsibly disclosed it instead of using it. And then the core developers, repaired it.
Don't you think it would take huge balls to come out and say you're Satoshi and like
no,
not be?
I don't think it would take balls at all. He doesn't have that much money. I don't understand this hero worship bullshit.
What do you mean?
I do more to defend Bitcoin than Satoshi does. I am out there explaining to people what the real ticker symbol is. I am out there trying to get it to be more decentralized, to be more censorship resistant. Like I'm teaching people and giving them a reason to take their keys off of exchanges, right? Because I invented Hex, and Hex gives you free money if you've got possession of your own private keys. What the fuck is Satoshi doing? He's not writing bips. He's not on stage saying good things about Bitcoin. I am. He's not getting people to take possession of their private keys. He's a bitch. He's a little bitch that's doing nothing good for his project. And so he's either deceased, which I am very likely believe
Think he
that he's
might be
not
dead,
alive,
huh? Like
or
that's
he's a coward. Okay. Because Vitalik invented Ethereum and he's standing on stage and improving it every day. I got a bag of Bitcoin and I stand on stage and defend it and try and make it better. And where's Satoshi? He's a coward. And a lot of much richer people step out into the world and defend their creations and help, make everything better. And he's not doing that. So either like, let's see the death certificate and hope his kids are good people and they don't just, dump on our heads, or like quit with his hero worship
so then how
bullshit.
come?
Like,
So if like Craig writes like 100% not Satoshi,
not
then
correct.
how come there's not enough? What? Why is he still like allowed to be at events and like why? If there's 100% proof that he is not Satoshi, then why is he still around? Like why is he given platforms
For
to
the same
speak?
reason that Theranos girl got to be on stage for a long time, and for the same reason Enron guys got to be on stage for a long time, and for it takes time for the reality to come to fruition for people, right? So he's already lost a court case where he went and said, "Hey, I'm Satoshi," and you know, and then he just got the judgment against him, and now he owes some massive, insane amount of money to Dave Kleeman's family because he wasn't able to support that he was Satoshi in a court of law. And now, that I imagine that he would just continue to lose suits of that form if other people had grounds to bring them up because he's not Satoshi.
Why?
So,
What was the beginning of the beef between you and Tone? And before you answer, I want to say this. Um, I like both of you guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm a friendly guy. I don't believe in burning bridges. I believe in being cool with everybody. You know what I'm saying? But I will say this. There is a person that Tone came out and basically called a scam. But
mm-hmm.
he did not do that until something happened. So the guy's name was Ven Zen that he was calling on. I'm only going to say so much on this, but this guy said something that was not good. It didn't have anything to do with crypto. We're just going to say, well, he said something really bad that everyone thinks is a really bad thing to do, had nothing to do with crypto. It was his personal life. And if he did not say this thing, Tone would not have come out and kind of said this guy was a scammer. Now, there were people, our people, and friends of his that were already suspicious. So that may have just given him an open ear to listen to his friends and say, okay, actually, I should have listened to you. I think he's a scammer. But with you, I'm wondering, what was the beginning? What started the heat between you and Tone Vase?
Just starting a token. So it was
Starting with
originally
what?
starting my original token, which would be CFD, computational fluid dynamics token, fluid. That was when I decided I was going to do that. Then he hates all altcoins religiously, like as a religion. He
When did that
hates
happen?
all altcoins. About 2 years ago.
2 years ago, and then you guys
Yeah.
kind of just never really said much, and then
Well, I
shit
mean,
just
it's like
started all over again.
I'm like you. I'm not trying to like make extra enemies, but if someone's going to insult me and call me a scammer
Did you say
constantly,
unlike me?
well, no, you just said you don't like to make extra enemies and shit. You like
Correct.
to be chill with everybody, right?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I'm kind of the same way.
Oh, okay.
I'm not trying to make extra enemies, right? It'd be very easy for me to do. I know how to use Photoshop, right? I could make a lot of funny viral GIFs out of these motherfuckers, but I'm not doing it because I ain't trying to make enemies, right?
Yup.
But if a guy's going to come and call me a scammer religiously day by day, and in fact, he is the scammer, at some point you're like, all right, man, I'm going to have to set the record straight here. So Tone is a bad trader. He doesn't even actually trade. And I'm sure that if you go to his events, you'll see none of the same people because they're all wrecked. And they paid him to learn how to lose their money. And they gave them extra confidence to learn how to lose their money faster. And so, what exactly is Tone? He charges you to go to dinner with him because he doesn't have enough money to go to dinner with you for free. He charges you for a rip-off indicator of Tom DeMark. It's called the TD indicator after Tom DeMark. Well, why don't you fucking go pay Tom DeMark then and take his fucking courses instead of the rip-off guy, right? That doesn't actually trade, that pretends to trade, that had never heard of Plus Token until I told him about it in person. I'm like, yes, Tone, there was a Chinese Ponzi called Plus Token that owns 1% of all Bitcoin. They bought the bottom. They're the reason the 3K bottom happened. And they were the top. They were the 14K top when their founders were arrested the same day. The 14K top was the day the Plus Token founders were arrested. So, but he doesn't know any of that because he's a fucking pretend trader, right? He looks at a shit indicator, this fucking rip-off TD indicator that he made one small change to, and then fan fictions as though you can trade profitably on it, and then is just perma-wrecked. So,
okay. If you can finish your statement, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't support people trading. The vast majority of people will lose all of their money. I built something that allows people to make gains without trading by just holding. Basically, staking HEX is the same as getting free mining hardware and electricity because you're getting all the inflation of the currency. And there's no benefit to staring at a screen and thinking of a fancy way to try and get some other guy's money out of his hands. And he's staring at his screen, trying to think of how to get your money out of your hands. In reality, both you motherfuckers are buying Arthur a yacht is all you're doing. Both you guys are going to get down to zero, right? And your lives ruined, your health ruined, your relationship ruined, all your money lost. And the harder you work, the more you'll lose.
Well,
what kind of shitty setup is that?
I sort of agree with you, but I sort of don't. I'm not going to try to plug like what I'm doing, but you know
it's
what?
Your stream, bro. I mean, fucking plug away.
You're right. I will say this, that I think, let me say this. I won't drop any names, but when I was at Tone Summit, I spoke with a couple people that were close to him, and they do not trade, but they say that they want to. And so I asked them, if you are surrounded by, if you are so close to Tone Vase and these other brilliant traders, these very smart people that you think, I know you might not think that, but they think they are, right? Then how come you are not trading, right? How come you haven't taken what they teach every single day, you're around it all the time, and applied it yourself? In the answer, and this is my shtick, this is my whole reason of why my community supports me and why we're taking over this space, is that they the techniques that they use amongst pretty much damn near everyone else doesn't resonate with the average person.
It's pretty easy to buy on a daily 9 with a confirmation candle after. It's not very hard to understand that fucking system, right? Like, I don't think it takes a genius to do that.
I haven't studied the TD stuff. I don't use. Okay. I use like my own system, right?
All right.
And so apparently the thing is okay. If let's say you applied that system, apparently it's not working. It doesn't work enough because the people because they're not able to do it. I fucking forgot what I was gonna say. All right. Here's what. Well, fuck it. Forget what I was gonna say. I don't remember. But okay, let's talk about the Howey test. First off, right. I think the name Howey sucks. I really hate hearing the Howey test.
Agree.
Sorry if anyone's name's Howey. Sorry, the guy from the fucking briefcase show. Okay. So is your plan? Is HEX not supposed to be a security, or is it? No. And I don't believe. Here's what I will say, to sort of like support you, I guess you can say, is I don't think not passing the Howey test doesn't make you a scammer. And I feel like when you were on that stream with him and his attorneys, that was what I was in their chat. I was asking, why do you think Richard Hart is scamming? And from what I took from that stream was that it didn't pass the Howey test and therefore it's a scam. Now
Yeah,
that might not be what they were trying to
they're
say. So tell
incorrect.
me about what you feel and
Sure.
how Hex applies is how we
Well,
test.
Enron was a registered security and a scam.
Sure was.
Theranos,
My family
which is a
got
registered.
really wrecked by Enron,
There
really
you go.
hardcore. In fact, it ruined the relationship between my father and his brother's son. His nephew was a stockbroker, and he told my dad wanted to pull out too. My dad called him and said, "Hey, I don't really kind of like this. Can we pull?" He said, "No, no, no, stay in. Everything's fine."
Right.
My
Yeah.
family was very well off. My
Yeah.
immediate family, and Enron and MCI WorldCom changed our life.
Yeah.
Yeah, Enron MCI WorldCom was really bad. So I
Right.
will say this: if I don't think you're a scam because you fail at how we test.
Well, I
I
agree.
think that's
They're not.
bullshit.
They're tangential. They're
Yeah.
not.
So tell me what's your position on the Hex and the how we test, and what's your
Sure.
plan to deal with this shit?
So my belief is that the SEC is smart and they try to help people not get ripped off and try to help people not lose their life savings. I think that's what the SEC does. And I think that's a wonderful thing. They try and kill scams where they have the legal jurisdiction to do so.
We're not
I
in
think that's
Panama,
great.
right? If it wasn't for that, you're not getting fucked, right?
Yeah,
Like you did in
we need
Panama,
the rule of
right?
law. Yeah, we need the rule of law.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, uh, their purview, the things that they're in control of, are securities, and securities. There's other defenses. There's more to life than the SEC, right? The Attorney General enforces truth in advertising. The FTC enforces advertising, which is the Federal Trade Commission. The SEC enforces security law. There's a lot of different overlapping jurisdiction uh, in regards to commerce, right? So, and you've got state and federal level jurisdiction. Now, you are a security if you have people giving money to a common pool with the expectation of profit solely from the work of others.
Is that your
So,
reason why you're saying you cannot
yes,
market Hex, or if for lack of a better term, say you're not going to be calling Best Buy or some shit or McDonald's to accept Hex, because if you did that, then people would be profiting off of the work of others. Is that what you're saying?
yeah,
That
I'm
sucks,
playing it
dude. So
safe.
why? So that's
My
to me
First
that
Amendment
sucks,
rights are being
because
annihilated,
if I want,
but
if I'm buying Hex, which I bought $1,000 worth of Hex on the very first day it came out, right?
yeah,
So if I want Hex to be better than the other cryptos,
you
I
have to
mean,
do it. You make it happen. But here's the thing, right? So I'm going to get you to the crux of the issue. The crux of the issue is who is doing the work, and is there a party that is performing essential entrepreneurial or managerial effort? Okay, that's the crux of the issue.
can you repeat that for me,
Is there
please?
some party that is performing essential, meaning the project doesn't work without it? It's essential.
Okay.
Managerial, like moving money around, right? Moving assets around, moving resources around, right? Or entrepreneurial, which similar, right? So what would happen to Hex if I died and the Hex website went down? Nothing. Works fine. You can go on etherscan.io, click write contract, and run the Hex software as you wish. Nothing that I do is essential. Nothing that the Hex website does is
Right.
essential.
I understand that.
It is so in this system, you mint your own coins, and you're the only person in the world that can do that. Only you can mint your own coins, and only you made your private key. So you invented your own private key, usually when you install MetaMask, and you run the software that you chose because you're choosing the contract address you're going to use. And you're running and mining your own block or paying someone else to do it for you. So you are doing all the work, you are minting all the coins, and you are minting your own rewards. And when you lock your coins, you are burning the coins. And when you end your stake, you are minting those coins and your reward back.
How much Hex do I get? So I haven't done this, but apparently you can get Hex for sending in the Bitcoin
Sure.
wallet address. Is that right?
Well, what you do is you tell the website what your Bitcoin address is, and then
Private
it looks it
key
up.
or bit or
No,
wallet?
no, Do not ever send your private key anywhere on the internet ever. Do
Mm-hmm.
not do not ever send your
Oh, well,
private
let me
key
delete the shit
anywhere
I
ever.
just did. Yeah, I'm
There
just
you go.
kidding.
So what you do is you're telling it what your Bitcoin address is, so that it can look up your balance and then tell you what to sign. And what it's going to have you sign is literally just claim hex to your Ethereum address. You copy that statement into your Bitcoin wallet. You go to the address you want to claim. You click sign. You copy the statement. You put it in the website. That's why it's secure, right? Signing things with your Bitcoin address is secure, or it wouldn't be a feature in your wallet. So you're copying the signature out, you're putting it in the website, and you're clicking submit. And then you're minting your own coins. Now, if you're not mining your own block, which you're very unlikely to be doing, and then you're going to need to pay someone to run your computation for you, and that's usually done with about 1 to 2 cents. Well, let's call it 3 to 4 cents of Ethereum. So, for 3 or 4 cents, you're minting your own hex using a signature that proves that you had the Bitcoin balance.
So, guys, hang on. I was messing around. I was messing around with some settings. Everyone can hear
Uh-huh.
the sound now, so we're good. So here's
Yeah, they say the volume's good now.
yeah. So maybe this is a crutch of mine. I
Should I
guess.
repeat what I just said a minute ago for the people that didn't hear
Go
it?
ahead. I'm gonna go take a leak real quick. Repeat
Okay,
everything you just said.
sure. All right. So in Hex, all you do is you go to go.hex.win, or if you want a 10% bonus, you can go to pumpamentals.com and you copy your Bitcoin address that had a balance on December 1st at 7 p.m. EST. That's when the snapshot happened. You copy your balance, or you copy your Bitcoin address into the little window at go.hex.win in the claim area. And then it press claim, and then it tells you what to sign. Copy paste that over to your Bitcoin wallet. Go to the sign function, which is like tools, sign message, and then choose what Bitcoin address you want to sign for. Paste the statement in there. Click sign. Copy the statement. Paste it into the website and click claim. And as long as you've got 2 or 3 cents of Ethereum in your MetaMask, you're going to have minted your own hex instantly. You are the network. You run the software. Without you, it's just some code sitting inert in a blockchain. It can't do anything. So you're doing all the work. While he's peeing, he's back. Power peer. Very fast.
All right, I'm back.
All right.
All right. What were we talking about? Oh yeah. So
I just told
wanted
them how to claim their free hex using Bitcoin.
Okay. Question, and it could change if I have a 1 Bitcoin in.
If you had claimed the first day, you would get 12,000 hex. But now that a week has passed, you're going to get 2% less because you bled out your stack 2% to the stakers.
This reminds
Every
me.
week you don't claim, you bleed.
So I bought $1,000 worth of hex the very first day.
Mm-hmm.
Now I heard and saw a couple days ago that people were bitching because apparently if they bought hex on the first day, they didn't get as much as if they bought it now. Is that true?
If you put in $100 extra, you could double your stack because the price went down 10x. Because people over FOMO day one, because we have 2 years of pent up interest releasing on one day, and then we have normal interest after. And so when you take 2 years of interest and you release on a day, then people over FOMO that day. Now, I designed the system to try and account for that by releasing twice as much hex that day. And I put out the EOS charts, which had a 350-day launch phase, very similar, where I showed, look, in the beginning, people over FOMO'd, and then they got a better deal, and then it went to the moon.
So, yeah, so the way it works is it's actually better to buy because it works as a percentage. If there's 100 hex on day one and people spent $100 total, it was a shitty example, but it's the percentage of hex that is there that day you receive from the percentage that you spent.
Sure. So it looks like right now you're getting about 512 million hex in the hex bucket, and then people are putting in around 1,000 ETH a day is what it looks like currently.
Okay,
now,
so
what it will do in the future,
ETH.
I have absolutely no idea. So if you put in 100 ETH, then you're going to get 10%.
So tomorrow looks like it's going to be a damn good day because, okay, so hex, how can we went from 1 billion and then right down to 500 million, and now it's like just hovering it's going down just
So what?
barely a little bit every day.
So the first day had $1 billion in it because I wanted to try and account for people over FOMOing, because I didn't want a price chart that went high and then went low. So I tried to account for the over FOMOing. And I told people, you might want to scale in, and someone even wrote a contract that will let you scale in. You send it ETH, and then it scales in the entire rest of all the open periods. This is the first crypto
where the pawns are actually the ones that I don't want to say like get screwed or anything, because
they run the game. It's up to them. They're like, no one else controls that but the people themselves, right? Like, if a lot of people join one day and then they don't join the next day, well, then you can see that in the chart, right? That's their decisions that did that. So if you want to join every single lobby that remains, of which I think there's like 345 of them, or maybe actually, let's be specific, right? Let me look at your window here.
So let's see here. So I'm on the stake page.
Sure.
And so if I am in this for the appreciation, right? I want to make, whatever.
Yep.
Let's say if I stake for 30 days. Sid, chill out, dude. Damn, my dog is going nuts.
All right.
Okay, so let's see here. So if I put in 30 days, here, let me just do 100,000 to make the math easy. So if I'm staking 100,000, what the hell?
Yep.
Does it say like the guesstimation of what I would receive after 30 days at all, or no?
Yeah, it usually does. But
Where
you're
would
gonna
it say that?
Well, you see, right now, you should increase that length.
Yeah. Let me
like make it like 400 for fun.
400 days. So I gotta stake it. So I'm staking it for a year. Over a year, gain would be 1,000%. So 1,000% is 10x. So I'd get 1 million hex tokens.
So the reason that's there is the big payday is on day 353. And if you're not staked during day 353, you're going to miss the big payday. And that's where the massive gains are. Because all of the unclaimed coins are going to be given to the people that staked.
When unclaimed, do you
Satoshi
mean
doesn't
people
claim?
that didn't hit exit like I did the other?
No. I mean guys that just never claimed, never even, so never free claimed. So
with the Bitcoin?
Right, exactly. So if Satoshi doesn't claim his coins,
to claim with Bitcoin?
All of it. 180 billion roughly.
So on day 353, all the hex that is not
getting
bought and or claimed is going to be what? Split amongst the hex holders, given on their percentage.
The stakers, given on their shares, yes. And the share price goes up every day, and it only goes up.
Do you not think that there's going to be a dump as hell on that day?
There might be, but I tell you what we built to try and, if there is a dump, make it smaller, right? So what happens is people think, well, everyone's going to dump that same day. Well, since everyone knows that might be the case, maybe people choose not to do that. And since you get 3 times as many shares, which means you get 3 times as much of that day, if you stake longer, a lot of people are staking longer. And so if you go to hexstat.com, go to hexstat.com real quick. Well, you go back to your screen there. Go to hexstat.com. I'd much rather you look at the software than me. I mean, people are probably bored of looking at me.
Yeah, no problem. Yep. All right.
So go to hexstat, HEX.
All right, here, let me do it on my other screen real quick so porn doesn't come up or something. Hex.
Okay.
STAT.
.com.
So HEXSTAT.com.
Yes. Yep.
All right. Okay. All right.
And what this is the world's first chart of future market supply in crypto. This is the stakes expiring over time. So as you can see, there's people that have got 10-year stakes, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. You see a lot of 5
Are they
there
receiving,
in 2025.
let's say if I stake Hex for 10 years, how often am I receiving my stake
at the end
rewards?
of the stake only at the end.
So if I stake for 10 years, I don't get shit till 10 years from now, correct?
Exactly.
Okay.
Now you can open up multiple stakes, and it's called laddering, and you can have a stake expiring every day if you want.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm.
So you just split. The maximum stake length in Hex is 5,555 days. Now you can zoom in. So if you highlight those 2021 peaks for fun, just click drag over them, the 2021 peaks. Just go left, left,
Yep,
go
I'm
left
on it.
with
I'm
your
on it.
mouse. Yep. And then just like highlight that whole area there. You just kind of drag it, like click drag over it to
Oh,
make a, like highlight it
uh,
like that. Yeah. See? And so now we're looking at what people are doing day by day. And now you can choose to have your stakes when other people's aren't, right? So you can choose to have your stake end when other people's don't have theirs ending. Does that
and
make
that
sense
would
to you?
give me more percentage of hex of the
Well,
pot.
no. It would just affect perhaps if you were going to sell what type of price you might get. I mean, in theory, if there's less
Right.
supply in a day, maybe the price is higher that
In
day.
theory, there's going to be more people selling on this big candle than this little one, right?
In
Okay.
theory, we
In
don't really
theory. Yep.
know. Yeah. So this day 353, when everyone gets their big payday, that you're going to get a larger up to 3x the shares if you stake 10 years. If you max out the size of your stake at 150 million hex, it's not, it doesn't max out the size of your stake, but it maxes out your bonus. So at 150 million hex, you get a 10% bonus. And at a 10-year stake at 3641 days, you get a 3x multiplier on your shares. So, you can see, is that game theory working? And are people staking longer to get more shares, to get a bigger piece of that big payday? And I would say the answer is yes, because look at the chart. You can see that a lot of people have stakes that end a long time from now, which means they can't sell on that day.
Um,
In theory, they could sell on that day if they hit emergency end stake and get nuked by like 90%. You could get nuked by 100% even. So
here's
like emergency end staking is a very risky proposition.
here's what I'm gonna say as far as some general thoughts of mine that I have kind of on all this. Number one, you have put a lot of thought into this, and a lot of work, and so I don't think calling you it's not right for people to call you a scammer.
I agree.
And whatever, if I get shit for it, it's okay. I don't care. Um,
There's people out there
my
that are straight scamming, and it
oh
doesn't
yeah,
look like this.
there is for all these people, and I'm gonna make this on a side note, uh, to people that are listening that like to throw that word around, and make videos calling people scammers. Hang on, let me put my webcam on real quick. Give me 1 second here. To all the people that are hang on a sec here. Oh, they can't see anyways. Oh, see here. Okay. So to the people that call you a scammer, or even say me a scammer, or there are real scammers in crypto more than anything, and I don't get. There are groups that steal signals from people like me and other legitimate traders and people that are trying their best. And there's so many scammers. There are if you want real scammers, there's real scammers out there. So, hey, I do not think you are a scammer. Here's my concern. My concern is the same concern that I would have with any company or currency or anything that I put money into to earn money back. And that is, how are they going to become popular and used and valuable? And so I will
Would you
say,
would you like me? I can answer that question and also answer an earlier question that you'd asked that I didn't fully answer.
okay. And so my
Remember how you asked
concern,
who might be the heroes that are promoting this, right?
yes,
So did you ever hear BitConnect?
yes,
A lot of people lost a lot of money on BitConnect, right?
yes.
What if the same guys that promoted that instead decided to promote something honest?
Um, yeah, I mean, there was a lot of people that, yeah, sure, that could. The
You,
music videos, the music videos were huge. Music videos were the number one viewed thing, and BitConnect was fucking huge. God, it got everyone into crypto, you know.
yep.
So
So what if I told you that
continue.
Craig Grant and Trayvon James are both promoting Hex with their own Hex websites and
That's
making
good.
YouTube videos about Hex?
I mean, that's good, but I tell you what, it's they are stained. And so
Yep.
I would hope you'd
Yep.
have more people on the back end. YouTube,
7-day old
YouTube,
coin, bro. we had the
I know.
front page of piratebay.org for a few days. Somebody put a link somebody replaced the homepage of Pirate Bay, the Pirate Bay logo, with the giant hex logo and a referral link for a few days. And I checked the link. It did pretty well. I think it got 5 million hex paid as a referrer, because I looked it up on Wayback Machine, and I looked up the ref link. It's public, right? So you can see how much a referrer is making. Yeah, they made 5 million hex as a referrer by putting that link up on the Pirate Bay.
So, in my opinion, if with real, kind of anything, any company, any currency, if you really want that true success, it's got to be usable and friendly to the.
Our shit's awesome to use. It's just a little slow because it's a fucking blockchain.
I
and we're
slightly disagree.
Okay.
What I was saying was useful for like the average person. It's Hex is brand new, bro. It's crypto.
Come on.
I'm serious, dude. What do you mean?
Go make crypto easy for the average person. This shit's hard as fuck, man.
I know it is, but that's what has to be done in order to get to like, that's how it's got to be done though. That's got to be the goal.
But I don't agree with that. I also don't agree with that, because all the Ponzi schemes got big as fuck, right? So all
BitConnect
the
was
scamming
real. BitConnect's layout, bro, was fucking beautiful. The interface, what it showed you, the returns.
Can you send me screenshots of that? Because I've never seen it. I've never seen the BitConnect.
Like how the BitConnect looked.
If you think that's just awesome, I want to see it, because I've never seen it.
It was, because the proof was in the pudding. The amount of people that did it. So, for example, there was parties. For example, realtors. I mean, shit. I had like 12 people under me when BitConnect was out. Friends, family, girlfriends, and shit. Yeah, totally, dude. I had girls fucking showing people that would never even in crypto, bro. You know what I'm saying? And bro, it showed you returns every day. Just the interface layout was easy enough for everyone to apply. Not MetaMask. It wasn't some MetaMask shit that you got to go through. Like at the ease of use for your average person. That's my goals when I put out like my services, my products is can some granny motherfucker be able to use it? I'm not trying to give you too much of a hard time, bro. I'm not saying like,
I believe in good UI and UX, and I've just received a lot of compliments on ours. Like, I did, but sure, I think it could be better. Like,
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's bad. I don't want you to take it like, no, I don't think you think. I think it's bad. But remember, if I really think if you really want to blow up, right? Listening to a lot of these nerds that have been doing, myself included, that are buried in our screens, doing the show all the time, it's one thing. I had a hard time. Remember, I messaged you. I was like, yo, I don't even, so when I bought Hex, right, I went to this transform, which I was hoping, I figured it was the right thing to do. I clicked enter and bought. I didn't watch any videos, it's true. But I didn't know I had to, so after I bought Hex, this had exit. And I didn't know what it was. I was kind of scared of it. I was like, what does this mean? You know? And so,
yeah. All right. Well, we can fix that pretty easy.
Yeah, I'm just saying like one thing. Like I said,
I appreciate the feedback, man.
Yeah, dude.
That matters. Like, look, you're pretty good with computers. Imagine how hard this is for somebody that's not good with computers.
That's exactly
I agree.
My point.
You have to fucking make it the easiest thing in the world. So I'm glad for that feedback. I think it can be made easier.
Yeah,
I think it is easy for crypto, but maybe for the real world, it's still not there. We need to make it better.
Yep. And you know what? Like I said, I'm not a crypto OG. I've been in this space for maybe 3 years, but I know that whenever I develop or have any product or service, I imagine being an old person or a single mother trying to figure this shit out. My hope for you and Hex and all of its people is that you guys, I hope for the best, bro. Just like anything, I hope the best, but I know that there's major hurdles, and for Bitcoin, in order to get, just because something's better, look at the tech space. Just because you make something better doesn't mean it's going to be more successful. You know, you need that adoption, and the adoption theory that that Hex is going off is kind of like, if you want it, you can do it. And there's certain ways, there's certain arenas where that can work.
Listen to the stats. Listen to the stats. We have over $1 billion of Bitcoin that is free claimed in a week. We have over $5.2 million.
You had $1 billion worth of Bitcoin that the people that used the claim in?
Yes.
Good for you.
Yes. So that's 140,000 Bitcoin. I give you real time stats here. So I'm just going to go to the Telegram and type hexstat, and there's the bot. And then I'm just going to scroll down, and now I've got stats from, this would have been,
here's what I'll say. If
I
was you, if I was you, dude, I would find out, if you can, maybe you can't for the way you made things, who are the biggest players that have bought into Hex, and start merging whatever businesses they're doing. Worming, hexing, I hear you on that, man. I believe it, bro. I believe it.
Wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice if Bittrex and Binance, that both have cold wallets that don't use multisig, free claimed their hex for their customers and gave it away to them for free? Man, that would be cool, right? And they can do that. Someone should ask them to do that. Wouldn't it be cool if wallets like Monarch Wallet was working on an integration to allow all of their users, which is over $1.5 billion of crypto is held on that wallet, to claim their free hex by just clicking
Definitely.
yes.
I am a big fan of Monarch and Beatles. That is a man that I would look up to. He's a cool ass dude, and so
I'm glad to hear.
I'm glad to hear that that is being put in. I'm not trying to out you for the security of Richard. I don't want to admit that I'm doing work, or else it's a security. So Richard Hart's fucking trying to make Hex a better thing, so it's a security and how he.
Well, no, people tell me what they're doing, right? They reach out to me and they tell me what they're doing. It's like these exchanges, they message me and they're like, "Hey, we're going to list Hex." I'm like, "Cool," and they're like, "You want to tweet about it?" I'm like, "Okay," right? Like I am not pushing anyone to do anything. They want to do it, and it's awesome.
Right on, bro. That's good to hear, man.
Like imagine if someone started buying more ads. Like somebody bought that Pirate Bay ad. I don't know who it was. I know they made 5 million Hex so far.
So does this Bitcoin address? So let's say my Exodus wallet, for example. Let's say I just
can't claim with Exodus. Exodus can't sign. You got to export your keys out of Exodus into Electrum or something else.
So
I made a video that's 1 minute long to show you how to do it. It takes 1 minute.
Can there be a list here of wallets you can claim with, right? Because just looking at this,
that's a good idea. Yeah, right? That's a good idea.
Bro, I'm telling you, man. Listen, I have consulted. I don't want to say any names I don't want people to think that I'm being a dick or with feeding my own ego, but I've worked with some of the biggest Fortune 500 companies, been on boards with some of the biggest name CEOs outside of crypto. I've helped companies that are big right now inside of crypto. I know what people want and what, how to bridge things as far as consumers and people and the company. Definitely
there's a lot of improvement that can be done.
Yeah, dude, it's brand
I like
new,
it. I think it's great. And I think in 7 days, the shit that the community has built in 7 days is stunning to me.
What has the community built in 7 days with Hex?
Whalebot on Twitter. Real time. Actually, just go to the site. Go to the site and show people.
I'll tell you, what else bothers me? And I think I've heard just a tiny bit come out of your mouth, but I don't think it was really. I don't think it's a big deal. But the whole anti-whale, this is.
We're not anti-whale. We're anti-whale that isn't you. We want to make you a whale. So right now, 42% of Bitcoin is held by 2,000 addresses. Most people have more than one address, so it's less than 2,000 people, and they all have over 1,000 Bitcoin in them in each address. Anybody listening to this shit, they don't have 1,000 Bitcoin in an address. They're not one of those 2,000 people that they think they're changing the world. Really, what you're doing is pumping banksters' bags. That's what you're really doing. You're making rich people richer. When Roger got into Bitcoin, he was already rich. When I got into Bitcoin, I was already rich. And I love that I bought at 30 and everyone is fucking fancifully happy to buy my bags at 7,000. and 14,000 4 months ago. Thanks, guys. That's real nice of you. So what I'm for is getting rid of old whales by penalizing them 75% and not letting multi-sig claim and giving you those coins to you guys.
So you're
the
saying
believers.
So the anti-whale
and then we'll have
part,
new whales.
So the anti-whale part of Hex is if I'm claiming
Yes.
Hex
only if
with
you're claiming
Bitcoin.
Exactly.
Is there anything else that's anti-whale?
Nope.
Okay. What is the?
If you want to be a hex whale, as a matter of fact, you get paid more to be a hex whale.
Now, what qualifies me being a whale?
How much Bitcoin's my cap? If you have 1,000 Bitcoin.
What's my cap for Bitcoin to get free? 1,000 Bitcoin.
Yeah, if you got over 1,000, you're getting cut by 50%. If you got over 10,000, you're getting cut by 75%.
I'm kind of close to being a whale, Richard.
Nice. Good on you, mate.
Okay, now question. I'm not that close. I don't believe me, people. Okay, so let's say I have a wallet. Are we going to be able to have Exodus wallet be a Bitcoin address? Why can't I use Exodus for the Bitcoin address to claim? What are the most popular wallets?
You can any Bitcoin address that is SegWit, like almost every single normal person will be able to claim. If you had Bitcoin at December 1st at 7 p.m. EST, that's the snapshot. If it's the block after that. So if now you just need to make the signature, right? So Exodus isn't a good enough wallet to have a signing function. So you just take your keys out of Exodus and put them into anything else that you want that can write a signature. I think Electrum's awesome from electrum.org. And you just import your keys, and it takes a minute total to do everything.
Is it electrum.org?
Yeah.
Electrum. So is this like a type of Exodus wallet?
It's an open source Bitcoin wallet.
So let's say, does it count the Bitcoin that I have currently in that wallet?
Only the snapshot. It only uses your snapshot balance.
When's the snapshot? What's the snapshot?
December 1st, 7 p.m. EST. The first block after that.
Is that this year, December 1st?
Yeah. Yeah, that would be about a month and 11 days ago.
Okay. Right. Now,
so look, the video is only a minute long. Why don't you play it real quick? Play the video. It's only a minute long.
Where?
I'll give you the address. It's youtube.com/hex crypto. There's just one video. It's a minute and 24 seconds long. It shows you how to import your keys, claim, and stake.
From
Speaking
Exodus?
slowly. Well, from Electrum. You're just going to import your keys. It's going to show you how to do it. So you would just Google export Exodus keys, and it will show you how to pull your keys out. And then my video will show you how to put them in.
From electrum.org. Just highlight.
Yeah, if you play this video, it's just a minute and 24 seconds long. It'll show you everything.
Address it is.
Just turn the volume up on it so people can hear it.
We go to wallet, private keys, import, paste the private key. We have imported it.
Jesus Christ.
Now we can sign statements from it. So let's go to tools, sign message. Let's paste the address into the address box, and let's go to the hex claim tool, paste the address in, click claim, copy the statement out. Notice how simple it is. There's nothing interesting in that message. Click sign, highlight it, copy it, paste it back into the hex window. Choose your stake length. You can get up to 3x the shares at day 3641. Longer's better.
Boy, I tell you what, how much never mind. All right, so the video there is
it's just a minute long. Minute and 24 seconds shows you how to import your keys, claim, and stake. And I speak slowly, and I use right-click copy and right-click paste. I could speed run it and do it in seconds, but wouldn't help people as much.
Okay.
So what you need to do is just export your. You just need to export your keys out of Exodus into Electrum, and then make those signatures, and then delete it all.
All right. So
but make sure you keep a copy of your keys somewhere. You'll lose all your money, right? So when I say delete it all, I mean you can delete Electrum and all that shit. You just need to sign it once, and then that's it. So,
You put a lot of work in this, man. I tip my hat off to you as a leader and a business person. You know that is doing something. I do not think you are trying to scam anyone. I don't think you're a scammer.
And we got audits. We got
may,
audits. We got a math audit. We got a security audit. We have another security audit, which I can't show you yet because I'm under NDA. But you can see they're all on the website under security in the homepage. Like, you are the software. You mint your own coins. You mint your own rewards, and it's fully audited. Where is the scam? Like, we can't possibly make it more good. It's as good as it can be.
I hope that you know, Hex grows and becomes a good coin that you know, people use and whatnot. Is there? I mean, I think we can wrap it up here. I mean,
Sure.
I'm kind of. I think.
I thought it was good.
Yeah, dude,
It was a good talk.
Yeah, for sure. And thanks for taking the time to do this. You know, to all the people out there, in this space more than others, there you can take the most vitalic type of person and you're gonna have disagreements. Like, there's no one person that is like everyone will have different opinions on stuff, and some people are going to be, you'll think they're wrong, and some people you think are going to be right. And it just, in this space, what I do appreciate, one of the things I appreciate about this space is the difference of opinion that like big players can have. What I do not like about this space, when famous people, so to speak, in the space are debating, a lot of them will not back up their points. They will say, if you think this, then you're crazy. Ha ha ha. And they'll just laugh it off. I think that when you bring something new to the table, a lot of these folks just come after you automatically because it is different.
If they don't own a bag of it, it's a scam. If they bought it, it's the best thing ever. It's really that simple. So you'll see.
Yeah,
I think as more people buy Hex from exchanges or claim it for free, or you know, transform their Ethereum into Hex, I think we will also end up with crazy people like that too, that just believe in Hex and nothing else. I think that tribalism, and I think we'll end up having something like that in Hex as well. It wouldn't
First off,
surprise
no
me.
one's paying me for this. No one's paying anyone, and so I don't want to hear shit like that in the chat. I'll just boot you out, bro. Okay. But fuck, what was I gonna say? Oh, okay. Oh yeah, okay. So, I don't think you're a scammer, but just like any company or any project, my main concern is the leadership. In my opinion, is the most important thing. The people that are making the decisions, focusing on growing the company and or project, is where it's at. Now, you
Huge
kinda came out
dodge,
and said,
dodging.
but you kind of
Dodging.
didn't, bro. You answered it. No, you basically kind of. I mean, you are the guy, and you said that there are current projects and companies right now that are adapting Hex into their ecosystem, and I'm glad that you said that, because my interpretation from what you were saying before is you're sitting on your ass. And hopefully the people that if you want Hex to grow, get out there and do it yourself. You know what I mean? But you don't really reap the personal rewards. It's hoping for the greater good. So I'm glad to hear that you
know, there's a referral program. I see that you have a referral link in your video.
Me?
Yeah, go and look at Craig Grant's video where he talks about how he got 3 million Hex on a single claim that someone did, and he you know, he's got like Craig Grant, Trayvon. They are promoting the referral program, and they're doing very well at it. The guy that put up that link on the Pirate Bay, you know, he got 5 million Hex. There's people promoting referral links for Hex that are making a lot of Hex on the deal, and it's like this system works and is designed so well. I never spoke to Craig Grant in my life. I didn't know he was promoting Hex till someone told me about it. Trayvon, I think he might have direct messaged me once, but I've never had a conversation with him in my life. But he's promoting Hex. People are doing, the guy that built the Hex visualizer, the hexviz.org with a Z, or hexviz.xyz, VIZ, He built that on his own. The system is designed so well that it's taking off virally without me doing a damn thing. So am I still doing some stuff? I'm still doing some stuff. But is the stuff I'm doing essential? Hell no. This is going to be successful because it's designed well, whether I live or die. Because I'm seeing it. I'm watching it happen. It's addictive. It's fun. People are timing their stakes. People are watching the percentages move around. People are wondering how much ETH is going to come in every day. It has speculative stickiness, and it's working in the real world. People, we're getting 1,000 or 2,000 new Bitcoin claims every day. BTC, like there's 40,000 stakes right now. That's fucking awesome. This is only 7 days old. We're the number 2 DApp on Ethereum. What the fuck could possibly be better? Like you can do better than we're doing, right? I guess people could be sending more ETH to the transform. Like that would be nice. But like every other metric is fabulous.
My hat's off to you, man. You know, you like I said, no matter what anyone thinks, at the end of the day, you built something in a space that you're very enthusiastic about and that you really enjoy, and no one can take that away from you. And so yeah, dude, I hope and wish you the best, dude. And you've taken a lot of shit. And I know what that feels like, dude. I know what it feels like for people to call you to put years into something that you believe is going to help people overall, and people tell you that you've stolen something, or you just did this, you just copied something, or you're trying to fucking
So
scam
retarded.
Everyone.
Bro,
And
everything I do is free. My videos are free. I don't even have ads on the channel. My 2 books that I wrote, Sci-Vive, are free. My price calls channel at Richard's Calls on Telegram is free. There's no Bitcoin address that you could possibly send me money at. I don't have any public address where anyone could even send me money. I don't have a shopping cart where you could try and send me money for buying something. None of that shit. And it's been that way for years. So if I'm a scammer, I'm the stupidest scammer in the world because there's no possible way for you to give me your money. It's like hilarious to hear these people say these things. Usually people that have all types of links to give them money, selling you steak dinners, selling you, a lot of different stuff.
Yeah. I mean, shit. I charge money for my products, like besides what I say on like YouTube to like just put out what I'm thinking for free. Yeah. And so we don't need to hammer that point in, but yeah, dude, I wish you go ahead. You were going to say something.
Yeah. Like I'm just saying, you're not out there insulting people and saying false shit about them that I know of.
No.
So like,
no, I'm a counterpuncher, and even it's like I've never started shit with anyone. I've never started shit with anyone, but like the shit I get is, oh, you're wearing a mask, you're trying to hide, whatever. I'm like, dude, if I was really, listen, I'm on the internet. I know that when I get to a certain point, motherfuckers are gonna know who I am. The mask is just merely a representation. It's cool. That's all. I just think it's cool. I have groupies. It's Spider-Man wears a mask, and you don't need to see my face to see results, man. You know what I'm saying? Judge me off my results, not my smile. Trust me, I look plenty fine. You know what I mean? But you've been fucked by more people by seeing by seeing their face than people who've probably been in a mask. You know what I'm saying?
That's an interesting point. I never thought of that. Yes, that sounds accurate.
Yeah, so that's why I'm a little butthurt. I'm still a little butthurt over you know what, but it's all good. Yeah, dude, you're I think you're a cool guy. I think you're a smart dude.
Thanks, man.
And yeah,
I work hard.
You and
I do work hard.
The best of lucks. I bought $1,000 worth on the first day. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you can double your stack for 10% more currently. I don't know if it'll always be that way. The dollar cost averaging thing, it worked for people in EOS, and I published the charts. So if you go to Hex Crypto on Telegram and you just type !pasta, it's going to give you a list of answers to every frequently asked question. What exchanges are we on? What do you mean the share price only goes up? Hex Crypto on Telegram. t.me/Hex Crypto.
On Telegram? Jesus
yeah.
Christ, I hate Telegram.
I love Telegram. I love it. It's so good.
Yeah, Telegram, Twitter. I don't do Twitter.
I hear you.
So screw everyone, okay? Everyone in the space are a bunch of Here's what it's 10%, maybe 5. Most people that are watching this right now are cool, normal adults. They have shit to do. They don't sit here and type in the comments. But the 10% that stink do, and screw the 10%. It's always the people that are actually trying to like scam and blackmail me. They call me a scammer. I'm like, what the hell, dude? Like, you're literally, a sick, disgusting person. And so, yeah, dude, again, more power to you. I hope Hex works out. I have empathy for you, because I know what it feels like to go through a lot of the shit that you've been going through.
Look at Elon Musk. Look at Vitalik. Look at Bitcoin itself. No coiners hate Bitcoin, and Bitcoiners hate altcoins. It's just the shit flows downhill, right? Elon Musk made rockets that land themselves. That shit never happened before in the history of man. And he made the safest, quickest car in the history of man. It dodges accidents, steers out of the way, locks up the brakes. It doesn't lock them, but uses anti-lock. And everyone hates him. So if people hate Elon and they hate Vitalik and they hate everybody, okay.
People
Man,
hate
I'm
on
easy to
Tom
hate.
Brady,
I got a big necklace.
LeBron James, whatever. Like, no matter what, that's something I've really had to get. That's why when I was young, I wanted to be an actor, right, in Hollywood, like everyone does when they're young. But then I realized how much shit they go with. That's why, again, I know I've been doxxed. Like, a lot of people know who I am. Is what it is. If I really didn't care if I really wanted to not be doxxed, I'd never show my face. I'd be a YouTuber that just shows, whatever I'm
just
YouTubing
the video and your
about.
voice.
Yeah. Fuck. What was the point I was making?
I think you were saying that people should fuck off with the being hard on everyone else and go build something
fuck
good.
The haters. You know what I'm saying?
Go build something good. Quit tearing up to other people. Go build something good yourself. Be so busy making the world better that you don't got time to fucking yell at other people. That's what the world needs.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Other than that, is there anything else that
That's
you
it,
want
man.
to say?
You got it. It was a good show.
Cool, bro.
It's the first show I did without my big chandelier on, because there's so many light bulbs in the fucking thing, man. It starts getting hot. I'm hot now.
Fire alarm went off because I had I always have candles too. I'm a candle guy. I love candles. And some of my shit, my fire alarm went off, and so I had to take a couple down. You're not a big trader, huh? You don't trade Bitcoin or do none of that shit?
Oh man, I know how to trade. I used to trade a lot, but you got to decide, do you want to spend all your time stealing somebody else's money that don't want you to have it, or taking his money the same way but him wanting you to have it because you're giving him a product or service he wants? I decided for me, I'd rather get people's money by giving them a product and service that they want, instead of forcibly taking that shit out of their hands and hoping that the world still ends up better because he then works harder at his real job or whatever. That's I like the building stuff, and it works when you're sleeping. In trading, the game changes, man, and now you're gonna go learn a new game, and it's one of the only professions where you could really just kill yourself. A lot of people, just the shit doesn't go right, and now they're going to kill themselves. And as a hobby, not most hobbies have that as an outcome, right? Like straight up suicide is not an outcome of most hobbies. So it's a dangerous hobby.
It is. It can be. I like to think that, I help people that are trading and make it easier, because I think the leaders in this space like making things seem complicated to fluff their own ego.
But once you find a system that works, a goddamn monkey could use it. The problem is finding the system.
That's exactly what I try to do. What I feel like I've done to a certain extent. So yeah. Anyways, thanks for coming on, bro.
My pleasure, man. Thanks for having me.
Respect to you. I wish you the best of luck. And yeah, bro. Fuck it. I'll go ahead and end the stream here. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Richard, for coming on. Hopefully, I asked
should I shill all my shit? Should I shill all my links and all that? I might as well.
I'd maybe, I would maybe let you if we were streaming on your channel.
Oh yeah, cool, smart. I feel you, man.
I'm gonna
Smart.
have to.
I forgot about that shit.
Yeah, that's right. We're only doing this on my channel.
Yeah, true that, man.
So,
I forgot.
But it's all good.
Agreed.
It's all good. So no, I wish you the best of fucking luck, dude. Wish you the best of luck. I hope Hex kicks ass and people start using it to buy gold and condoms and all kinds of shit. And I'll keep an eye on some exchanges, man, and whatever. Fuck it. Wish you, screw everyone. Keep doing you. And
thanks, man.
thank you, bro. All right.
Ciao, man. Later, bro.